fight fans? So, Francis Ngannou just recently did an interview with Ariel Helwani and basically has come out and pretty much told his side of things. Pretty much, the guy wanted a 3-fight deal, which is very understandable. We always talk about that. We always talk about how I just recently made a video talking about how fighters need to stop fighting those kind of deals, like a 10-fight deal, 8-fight deal, because you're pretty much giving up your whole life to one organization, and it's like, it's very unfortunate because, say for example, well, you know what, let me put it this way. It's very unfortunate and fortunate because it could go good or it could go bad. So bottom line is, you could be making that good money right there. You could be making 5 million maybe, or 500,000. But let's just say you're on top of the world. Let's just say you made bang. Let's just say you are literally on top of everything. You are now the champion. Like, pretty much the best example is Francis Ngannou. He pretty much signed a contract to do not sure how many fights it was, but it was 600,000. Pretty much, he became the heavyweight champion of the world, became the baddest man on the planet, became, the must-see TV. Pretty much everybody was talking about him. It was all in these outlets, but he still was only making $600,000. The guy wasn't breaking $1 million. I'm sure maybe he got paid a little bit here and there under the side, but at the end of the day, that's still not guaranteed money. That's not money that's actually like 100%. You're not walking in there saying like, oh yeah, we are going to give you $1 million. It's 100% guarantee, or 2 million, or 3, but still, and that's what the contract says. Sometimes they'll be like, well, you didn't do too good, so no, we're not going to give you that extra money. We're just going to give you what we said we're going to give you. And no, I think Francis Ngannou wanted some guarantees, and he knows with the potential of the amount of money he could make with the John Jones and with the Stipe and whoever else in 3 fights, that he could be making a lot of money. And then, you know what, he could be making more money after that. Then you can negotiate a deal again, or he'd be making less. So it's like, it's just a hit and miss when it comes to that. When it comes to 3-fight deals and such like that, you want to know like what you're going to be worth, because you could be worth more or you could be worth less. It all depends on your performance. So I believe Francis Ngannou wanted to do that. The UFC did not want to do that. He wanted to get better health insurance and such like that, and probably for other people. It turns out the UFC didn't want to do that either. So it just seems like a lot of it seemed like they wanted to pay him, but they weren't wanting to pay him really truly what he's actually worth. Too much. Like, he didn't want to give him like too much details. I'm talking about the UFC side of things. They didn't want to give too much details on how much the real worth is. But I do believe it really wasn't all about money for Francis. It just seems like it was also about freedom, and it was about to be able to go do what he actually wants to do as well, which is also boxing. And the fact that he didn't want to stick around for too long. He wanted to be able to have that option to be able to move around, because basically deep down, Francis Ngannou pretty much did come out and said that he wanted to stay with the UFC, that he did not want to go anywhere. That they had been issues with Dana White previously in the first Stipe fight. So it seems like there's been a lot of issues regarding the highest paid promoter, I guess you could say, in the sports industry right now. So with that being said, it just seems like a lot of back and forthness, and it seems like a lot of very unnecessary disagreements that they had. That's just my personal opinion, guys. They shouldn't really be disagreeing like that. Francis Ngannou should be at 100% getting paid what they're worth. The UFC should be pretty much getting allow contracts where fighters can go do their thing, can go box, can do jiu-jitsu matchups, because actually they could. Fighters could actually go out there and do jiu-jitsu matchups. I've seen Jorge Masvidal, I've seen Anthony Pettis, I've seen Uriah Faber, I've seen all these guys go out there and do jiu-jitsu tournaments, but yet they don't do no boxing. And why you think that is? I feel because, honestly, jiu-jitsu ain't going to pay nowhere near the amount of money that a boxing would do. And they just don't want their fighters to get that kind of taste and be able to start asking for more money. And that's their right, though. They have the right to provide for their families. And that's what Francis Ngannou wanted to do. He wanted to be able to have that right to be able to provide for his family. He didn't want to have that right to where he was pretty much forced to do something and be somewhere where he did not want to be. And of course they're not telling him, oh yeah, you have to be here. But they're saying that to us now. Who knows? Maybe what they're trying to do outside in the public eye. And they're trying to make it difficult and more challenging for you. We saw what they were able to do with Nate Diaz, and I do feel like they're trying to do the exact same thing with Francis Ngannou as well with Cyril Gane. So it's really, really unfortunate that the UFC and Francis Ngannou didn't really come to terms. They didn't really be able to make a deal happen. It really is. But at the end of the day, we still got Francis Ngannou out of the UFC. What is he going to do next? Who knows? You know, he did mention on that. I'll do that in the next video. But he did mention what he does want to do next. And he did mention who he was thinking about next. And he did mention a few other little details that I will make in another video. But let me know if you guys, what do you guys think about all this? What do you think about the fact that Francis Ngannou is now officially gone from the UFC? What do you think about the fact that he wanted some health insurance? What do you think about this whole 3-fight deal that he's even talking about? What do you think about all that regarding? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.